All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Go Throw Show, brought to you guys by Flight Factory Discs and shot by the boys at GK Pro. Big thanks to Flight Factory for supporting this program. You can visit them at flightfactorydiscs.com. 20,000 discs in stock, and they just picked up my boy, my fellow rockhound, Calvin Heimberg. So go give them some love as they support us. My guest today, man, I've been super excited about this one since I heard he was going to be here. I'm honored that he's here. One of my good friends from across the pond, Seppo Paju. How are we doing today, sir?
We're chilling. I'm happy to be back in the United States.
I know. How's that feel?
It's starting to, settle in. Like, I feel pretty normal since I've been here a lot over the years. But at first, when I got here, it kind of felt unreal.
Yeah.
Seeing all the friends after a couple of years of not being here at all. And first of all, getting to play in shorts and T-shirts. That's a big thing for me.
Not what they're doing in Finland right now.
Not right now.
And there was a time when you were comfortable over here, like almost living here, wasn't there? At San Diego?
Yeah.
Was that right?
I was partly living here for months at a time.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty familiar with, especially West Coast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Back in America, man. Thank you for coming and being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
I know all these guys appreciate it. I guess, man, start us at the beginning. Like, where did disc golf find you, and how did that all work?
Well, my dad has been playing frisbee sports since '79.
No kidding.
So I've always had frisbees at our garage.
Okay.
And we also have had a basket on our yard always, one of those old ones. And my birthday present when I was 2 was a mini basket too. So I've been in the sport for a long time.
Yeah, your dad was trying to get you into the sport.
Yeah.
You've got brothers as well, right?
I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And my older sister doesn't really play, but everybody else plays too.
Yeah.
And I didn't really play back then when I was a kid. I knew how to throw frisbee and play catch. And we sometimes played disc golf on the yard, but not more than 10 times until I was 11. So 2006 is when I saw a magazine and they had disc golf discs for sale. And I thought that this sport has definitely died. Like, my dad was the only one playing it, probably.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll go get some new discs and go try it out and see what it's all about, because I didn't really even know the rules. Like, I just knew frisbees.
Yeah, so it was like an advertisement for a store you could go into?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It wasn't a disc golf store. It was this store that sells fishing stuff and camping stuff and stuff like
General outdoor activity.
Yep. And I went there, and there was a course pretty close to my house, maybe 5 miles. So we went there, 12 holes, and it was amazing. I looked at some stuff on YouTube, which wasn't a lot back then compared to these days. But I was pretty amazed, honestly. I didn't know somebody could throw a disc over 300 feet and get it to exactly where they want. So I was pretty much hooked on immediately.
And how close was that course to your house?
It was 5 miles.
All right. Were you riding your bike, or did you have to get dropped off?
I was usually getting a drive to there.
Okay.
Yeah. But we had a pretty big yard, and we had the basket, as I said, and I got to make a 9-hole course on the yard, and we were playing to the trees in that one basket.
Yeah.
So I was mainly playing on the yard.
So by the time you got into PDGA competition, were you good? Could you tell you were better than everybody?
So I started basically in 2006, and I got into the tournaments in 2008. But prior to that, I did play some weeklies and monthly competitions that the local club had.
Yeah, right.
But 2008 is when I started competing for PDGA tournaments and started traveling to different countries immediately, actually. My second tournament ever was a major.
What was that?
It was a Scandinavian Open in Skellefteå, Sweden.
Okay.
And everybody was there, Climo, Feldberg, Dawes, Jenkins, Brinster.
Second tournament ever. The greatest
amazing.
Players in the world, all right there.
And I was last after the first round, which was super devastating.
Just a little nerves, or?
Nerves, yeah. I mean, it was my 4th tournament round ever.
Yeah.
So I played over 100. I remember that. It was 30 over par.
Okay.
And but I climbed myself up to where I finished 5th last.
No
So
kidding.
I climbed 5 spots.
Hot round. I'm sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But a fun fact from there is that the winner of that major was Jesper Lundmark from Sweden. And I lost to him in 3 rounds by 75 throws.
No kidding.
And I was like, how am I ever gonna like get this guy?
Get to this guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you
I
do?
didn't get to play the last round because I didn't make the cut.
Did it light a fire? Like, was that something that
It did.
motivated
Actually,
you?
I just basically broke it down, like what were my mistakes. Let's say that, okay, I missed 10 putts within 15 feet. That's 10 strokes, and those are like pretty easy things to fix. I threw 20 OBs, like let's clean up some of those.
Yeah.
I missed up 20 of my sidearms, and I just broke it down so I could see like, okay, I actually had 100 mistakes that I could fix.
Right.
So I just started like cleaning up my game, and that was pretty much it. And not too long after that, I actually beat him.
The people at home are going to get better because of what you just said. Breaking it down, showing yourself that it was your mistakes that made the problem.
Yeah,
Once you clean that
they're
up,
not even like difficult things to fix. You just gotta like realize how much you can actually improve by just cleaning up those short putts or not going OB in stupid places. Rather be 30 feet to the right than just by the line.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fast forward us to 2010 then. You're still playing juniors or AMs.
I was playing a little bit of pro and a little bit of AM and juniors.
Okay.
But yeah, 2009 was similar year to 2008. Like I got a little bit better, but I wasn't like super good. I was okay. But in 2009 or 2010, I think I grew a lot. Like my actual length
got tall.
I got taller. So
Yeah.
I think that was a big part of my improvement. But that year, I started off pretty good. I ended up playing in a Euro Tour in Open Division, and I beat the Finnish champion, the MPO Finnish champion, which was like one of my first like things that I showed like I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 2010 I came to United States actually to play for the first time. It was
in the World Championship,
Amateur World Championships in Ohio.
Okay.
And that was supposed to be like a family trip. My dad was like, well, we can go to USA, and we went to Chicago before the tournament.
Yeah.
All of us in the family.
What'd you think of that? First time in America, right?
It wasn't my first time in America.
Okay.
I had been to a few different places, but first time playing in the USA. But Chicago is cool. I haven't been there since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was basically a family trip, and we also played the tournament, which went very good for me. And
No kidding.
I won the world title.
How did you feel going into that event?
I felt like my dad was underestimating my skills by saying that let's just go have a vacation and you can play also.
Yeah.
And
He didn't want to put too much pressure on you?
Yeah, probably that too.
Yeah.
So, but I knew that I definitely have a chance because I always went to PDG and looked at all the rankings and ratings of all these others, and I was like, I definitely have a chance against all these kids. And I was leading after the first round. Back then it was like 7 rounds and the final 9.
Were you bigger than the other kids you were playing with? You said you grew a little bit.
Yeah, I grew a lot, but I still wasn't like very tall.
Okay. Similar size to everybody else.
I was similar. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was throwing it farther than most.
Same form that you have now?
Pretty wild form, actually.
Really?
Not exactly the same. I was holding the disc like with 2 hands.
Okay.
Like now I have it like dropped.
Ultimate player.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I definitely got some inspiration from my dad's style.
Right.
And he's a frisbee thrower, so. But yeah, I was leading after the first round, and pretty much for those 7 rounds, I was battling with Andrew Coggins. He had already won 2 world titles in different divisions.
As a junior? As he was moving up.
Yeah, that was his first year in 16 and under. And we were like battling it out, started the final 9 tied, and finished it tight and ended up in the sudden death, and I took it down.
No way.
On the first hole.
On the first hole?
On the first hole.
Do you remember how that went? Like, walk us through that hole. What'd you throw?
There's a crazy story about that, actually.
Let's hear it.
So I was one behind going into the last hole of the final 9, and it's a hole where you pretty much have to lay up about 250 feet, and then there's a water that you have to carry over 150 feet. So if you want to go for it, you would have to throw about 400 plus
Any
and
trees
over the
involved?
water
Okay.
into this like area.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, Andrew already laid up. He has a pretty easy 3 coming up.
Yeah.
So I have to go for it.
Now's the time.
That was the time. So I went for it, slipped, the disc went up in the air, faded, was going straight into the pond, and there's this bridge going over the pond, and my disc landed on that bridge, which was in bounds.
Was it made of wood? It didn't skip off of it or
No,
anything?
it had these railings.
Really?
So it stuck on the bridge.
And you played from the bridge?
I played from the bridge. Andrew threw his second shot long, like 30 feet, and I laid up, or I parked it from my drive.
Yeah.
So I was tapping in for birdie, and he missed the putt for birdie. So
No kidding. Man. Landed on the bridge.
yeah, dude, I gotta get you some pictures so you might be able to put them on this video.
Yeah, I think we probably could throw something up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that situation, that felt like you were James Conrad and that other guy was Paul Macbeth, and this thing was wrapped up until something crazy happened.
Yeah, I wish there was video from that, because at least in my head, that was the biggest thing ever happened in disc golf. I mean, obviously, as a kid, that's the stuff that you're dreaming about.
Right. They're going to talk about this everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2010. 2011, you're already...
Well, I probably should continue with 2010 for another second.
Yeah. Do it, please.
So I played junior European championships at the end of the year also.
Right.
And that was a USDTC qualifier, which was a big thing for me, because that was my like main dream in disc golf back then. Like, I really want to get into the USDTC because they had the coolest videos, and all the Finns that had ever been there had the stories.
Yeah.
So I needed to get there, but I wasn't sure if I'm able to, because I played in juniors.
Right.
But it ended up being so that I played amazing. Like, I shot the second hottest score in the whole tournament, MPO included. Lost by 1 stroke to Jesper Lundmark, actually, who beat me 2 years ago by 75 strokes.
2 years, you pick up 74 strokes on this guy.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But yeah, top 5 score-wise got the spots. So
Wow.
I ended up getting the spot, and just a couple weeks after the European Championships, I went to the USDTC, which was great for me.
Mind-blowing experience.
Mind-blowing experience. It was everything I ever hoped for, honestly, or maybe even more, because with the hospitality area,
Yeah.
right from parking lot to the hole one,
Yeah.
spectators, course was amazing. The weather was amazing.
You're 16 years old too, right?
16, yeah. I was actually 15.
15 years old.
Because I just had birthday like a month after the USDTC. But yeah, I didn't play like amazing. I remember I played the last round with David Wiggins Jr., which was a good battle for me, because we were like both juniors. We were both 15, so we like had a battle.
Yeah.
But I took it down. Like, I beat him.
Nice.
So that was a good win for me from him.
Was he outthrowing you at that time?
I was thrown pretty far, and you don't get to like bomb it all the time there.
Right.
So I remember we were pretty much like
Yeah.
side by side.
Yeah, it's not a full-blown distance course. By
No,
any means.
but also one funny fact about the Worlds that I played that year is I won 16 and under, Ricky won 19 and under, Paige Shue won 16 and under, and David Wiggins won AMS. So that was a pretty good year.
That was.
Yeah.
Bunch of people graduating from that year,
Yep.
coming out here on the pro tour. Okay, so have we wrapped up 10?
Yeah.
So going into 11, you're playing all MPO at this point.
Yeah.
And you take down the European Championship.
Not 2011.
You take down the
I took down Finnish
Championship.
Yep.
Dude.
And to a lot of Americans, that's probably not a big deal. But
Right, understandably, right.
Understandably, yeah. It's like comparable to state championships. But if it was like, if Texas State's championships was only for people from Texas.
Yeah.
And it was made like this prestige.
Yeah, you guys have a special thing.
Yeah, it's a special thing, and that's for most Finnish players, that's gotta be their biggest tournament of the year. That's what they look forward to the most, because it's really
it's a bragging rights thing.
It is.
You know,
you're best of your country.
Yeah.
So I did win that tournament. I was
unbelievable.
I was the youngest to ever win that. I was 16 at the time, and I wasn't winning at any point until like the last 2 holes.
Really?
Yeah.
And what happened?
I mean, I was shooting very good. I recently looked at the scores, and I played like 1070 that round. So
you shot
I was like
1067. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. Which had to be, and you came back and won by 2. You were down 5 to start the round, weren't you?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just kept climbing, and at the end it was like we're like tied. Yeah. And then Pasi, my good friend, he hit the gauge and it rolled out of bounds, and that was it.
No way.
Yeah, on the second last hole.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was meant to be, man.
Yeah.
The legend of Seppo Paju was born.
Yeah, it was cool.
So what'd you do for the next few years?
The next couple years were a little bit more quiet for me. Something to mention, though, is 2012. I played my second Pro Worlds. 2011 was my first. I did have the ace from the Santa Cruz main wharf, if you've seen that.
I have seen that,
yeah. That was pretty special.
I saw that
too.
long before I met you. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Thought it had to be computer generated or something.
Yeah. So that's like...
The story behind that is actually incredible. People should hear this, because you went and...
There was a distance competition, as there is usually at Worlds.
Yeah.
So I took part in that, and I qualified to this distance showcase.
Yeah.
But I thought that since I qualified to that, it's another distance competition. So I only brought my DX rates with me, and actually a couple Star Destroyers back then. And but then it ended up being so that we're throwing from wharf about
a pier. This pier, like way out in the water. If you guys haven't seen the video, pause this one, go watch it. You'll understand what we're saying. But this pier goes out, and they put the basket back on the beach. Yeah,
right. Like 425 feet or something.
Right.
And I only have DX rates and Star Destroyers. Like, I wasn't gonna throw those, so I went to the Fly Mart that they had and bought 3 Firebirds.
Pro Firebirds, right?
They were Glow Champion Firebirds.
Glow Champ Firebirds.
And everybody got 3 shots. We were trying the ace.
Yeah.
And there was like everybody was there, like all the furthest throwers. And
distance wasn't a problem.
Distance wasn't the problem for anybody. It was, we were trying the ace and have a like cool show.
Who went before you? Like, what were you in line?
Gertie, Avery, Christian Sandstrom, Paige Pierce. Paige was there for the showcase. I think she was qualified from the FPO.
Yeah.
Those are the names that I remember.
Yeah.
But there
so
was
nobody hits it. You step up to it. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I got no chance. I threw my destroyer first.
Okay.
I was like trying. If you aced it with your first shot, you got 5,000. I didn't. I threw like 100 feet past the basket, and then I was like, all right, let's take these Firebirds out.
Yeah.
I tried the Firebird, put a lot of anhyzer on it, faded out in the basket.
First throw
with that disc, and it's still only one throw with that disc, and it's on my wall.
What a story. You cashed out for it too, right?
500.
500. Yeah. Dude, what a drop off. $5,000 to 500.
I was a little bummed, but
it's still cashed out.
Yeah.
Made it on YouTube.
And a cool story.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right.
Yeah, that was probably my highlight of 2011, and one of my highlights of my career, probably.
It has to be, man.
Back then, videos were not like these days. Like they were pretty rare, especially in that quality.
Yeah.
Like GoPros had just come out probably, and they put the GoPro in the basket. So it's like perfect how you see it coming in.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But 2012, I played my second Worlds, and that was a pretty incredible one for me. I was 17. first time in the US by myself. Actually, I stayed with Ricky at his house, or at his family's house. And there was also Yuli, Gertie, Feldberg. So I got to like spend time with those people for the first time. And I also got sixth. I was only one stroke off the making it to the final 9. And that was...
Man, surrounded by the greats, you started to see it yourself in a way.
Yeah, I got the best.
Did you feel like you belonged?
I did, and I got the best tip probably of my career from Yuli before the tournament.
Really?
I was not putting good at all. Like, we played all the practice rounds together, and I was missing right. And Yuli told me that when you come in, don't let your hand like go past the pole.
Yeah.
Just leave it by the pole.
Yeah.
And that's what I focused on all week. Like, just leave it by the pole. And I was making everything, like literally everything. I have never putted that good since today.
Yeah.
Or until, like, I have never been that good at putting. But sixth at Worlds, that was
crazy.
a good one.
Yeah. To have a chance to maybe take it down.
Yeah.
It's still a 16, 17.
Yeah, 17. And that was Paul's first year when he won, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in Charlotte.
Yeah, in Charlotte.
Yep.
All right. Gotta check these notes real quick. Get on something. Well, I mean, we can talk about the 2014 European Championships if we want to, because is that the crown jewel, would you say, in your...
Yeah. It's on all the discs, all of my signature discs and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you interviewing me now, or
Yeah.
are you asking?
Yeah.
Off the camera, okay. Yeah, it's gotta be my probably best tournament ever. I played bogey free, so that already tells something. 4-rounder.
Crazy.
And I was in Army in 2013, so I only played a couple tournaments.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw the little gap and whatever. So in Finland,
you have to.
You're required to.
Otherwise, you have to serve in this like social work at like a hospital or something.
Yeah.
Or you have to go to prison. Those are your options.
Do people actually go to prison?
Nobody probably takes that option. It's
Yeah.
a pretty bad one.
Yeah.
Most people go to the Army and they are okay with it. And I only did 6 months, so I got it the easy way.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2013 I didn't play really at all, and the amount that I played very poorly, and it kind of continued in 2014. I got a little bit better. I got like a couple of smaller tournaments that I won, and then at the kind of like end of the year, I just barely got into the European Championships actually for Team Finland because I didn't play many tournaments the previous year. So you would have to qualify to your team.
Right.
And I got like, somebody dropped out and I got that spot.
No kidding.
Like 2 weeks before the European Championships.
Yeah. Each country is allotted a certain number?
Yes.
Is it the same? Is it based on population?
It's based on the amount of PDGA members, I believe.
In that country?
Yep.
So
but maybe not exactly, but like, for example, like Germany, they have way smaller disc golf scene than Finland.
Right.
So they have probably about like half of the spots compared to us.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly how it goes, but something like that.
Yeah. So you guys have what, 6, 8 spots or something?
No, we had like 14 spots.
Okay.
So I was barely top 14 in Finland back then.
Crazy.
But yeah, I started off the tournament okay. Kind of kept like playing better as it went on.
Yeah.
Shot some hot rounds going towards the end, and
that guy
Simon.
Yeah.
He was there. He just came back from the world, like not Worlds probably, but US.
Yeah.
And everybody looked him up so much because he just recently started touring here.
Yeah.
So he was like the superstar, and we were all scared of him.
Yeah.
And all that,
and he had the lead for.
He was leading all the way. Like everybody thought it's a easy win for him, but I was 3 down going into the final round, and maybe 7 holes in the final round we were tied.
Yeah.
And as I said, I played bogey free. I probably had close to 10 eagles in the tournament. So I was shooting very hot.
10 eagles.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I had 3 eagles in one round, I remember.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You and Kevin Jones. The only people I know that eagle 3 holes in a round.
Yeah. Did like very good all the way through. Didn't miss putts. All my drives were on. And Simon, as we got tied, I could tell that, all right, Simon is now a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to take it down.
Right.
And I know that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's no easy job. It's never been to win European championships in Europe.
And to be the favorite going into it.
Yep. And with the jet lag and all that. But I ended up winning by 1.
Sick.
Yeah, it was the biggest one because nobody was expecting me to win, myself included.
Yeah.
And it's still my greatest one, and it's here on
That's
the
why
list.
you see it on these frisbees right here. Yeah. This is I guess we talk about this a little bit too. This is pretty.
It's gonna be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
We do not know the date yet on this, but D2 has been my go-to driver for years.
Yeah.
I love bombing this, and this D1 is slightly modified compared to the previous ones, and they're pretty stable, which I like.
Yeah.
And super glidey, perfect stability, I think, for a lot of arm speeds.
I was watching him smash these things all over the course the other day. I'm sure you intend to do that during this tournament.
Yep. These are going to be all over the courses that we're playing, and I actually love that we're playing these courses because I get to throw these all new distance drivers.
It's a throwers tournament that we're playing here at the Las Vegas Championship. That's what we're doing. I don't think we've mentioned that yet, but of course that's what we're doing here. Windy couple days.
The last couple days.
Yeah, as we're getting ready for it.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
And you were throwing X1s in the headwind today, making them.
Yeah, having a round with Scott Withers, and we were both throwing our most overstable stuff, and it wasn't holding up.
It's
maybe
supposed
one
to
of
stop.
the windiest I've played in.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy. There was dust storms yesterday. All the dust blew away from Vegas. There's no dust left here, so it was, at least it was a little clearer.
Yeah.
But all right, I want to talk to you a little bit about your form because it's unique. You know, you could black you out and just do the silhouette version, and almost every disc golf fan in their living room could tell you that that's Seppo Paju right there.
Well, that's interesting that you say that.
Yeah, I mean, no one does it precisely like you, and it's a lot based on spin, whereas some people are trying for that, you know, super long reach back length. You know, you're spinning the frisbee.
Yeah, a lot of people tell that to me, and they say that why do you curl your wrist so much? Like, do you get your spin that way? But I actually don't really curl my wrist at all. I just hold the disc naturally. Like, I don't do this at all.
Right.
If you look slow motions, like, all my wrist does, the most that it curls is like this.
Yeah.
It's not like curled, really. It's just the way that my arm is positioned. Right. Like, I always try to keep the disc inside my elbow. Like, it's hard to show here, but like, if I'm here, like, I always try to keep the disc between my chest and my elbow. And that's how you get the best like power pocket, and the spin creates there. It's not in the wrist, it's like in the power pocket. And with timing, when you get it right, that's how you get the spin.
And that's, I think, what you're especially good at and what people can't see because it's happening so fast is your timing.
I think my throw is based on timing,
Yeah. You're not wasting any energy. It's all going into your fingers and coming out clean.
Yeah. And I've been lucky because I have never really worked on my technique other than like little things, but I started at a young age, and luckily pretty much immediately I started focusing on technique a little bit.
But you were throwing
enough to, you know, see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it was natural, other than like saying like, okay, it's high enough, like I'm not throwing from low. And just enough where I knew that I'm not doing anything like super wrong, and then it just happened itself.
And you were freestyling back in the day a little bit too, weren't you? Because you're one of the best freestylers I know. Risby is a little bit, he does it as well, but you're the best one I know.
Like freestyle frisbee player?
Yeah. I mean, Juliana Corver, obviously, she's posting her videos. She's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, she's like I'm nobody compared to her.
Right.
And there are amazing freestyle players out there. And
You were the first person that I saw do it.
yeah, the tricks that you have seen me do are pretty much the only ones I know to do.
It does them really well. Could have fooled me.
Yeah, I'm okay at the things I do, and compared to disc golfers, or really nobody can do it. It's like the hardest thing you can do with a frisbee.
To just spin it in place?
Yeah, spin it in place and then spin it with your nail.
It's your nail, not your finger.
Not my finger, yeah. It's on the nail, yeah. And
I'm terrible at it.
then you do some tricks. And I know few. I don't know much, but I consider myself a frisbee player more than a disc golfer. Like
all around?
I probably like a regular frisbee better than a disc golf disc, actually.
Yeah. You usually carry one around with you.
I have a lot of frisbees in my car. I actually need to give you one.
All right. The fastbacks?
Yep.
The SP ones?
Yep.
Let's go. We're going to play with that thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, your catch game is proper. You, James Conrad.
Yeah, I've played with James a lot. Brian loves playing catch.
Earhart, yeah.
Yep. Everybody
Smooth.
loves playing catch, though.
Dude,
It's
you're
the
right.
best.
Yeah. Playing catch is the best, man. So when did you develop your relationship with Prodigy Discs?
Pretty much immediately. Well, they started working on the company, I think, back in late 2011 or 2012, early. I got a message from Prodigy 1st of January 2013. That's when they published the company.
Okay.
And that's when they published 10 of their players. And I don't know why, but they didn't email me or contact me before the publishment, but they did on the day. And like a month after, they also published Ragnar and I as European representatives.
Okay. And that was the year that, I mean, you did your Army stuff. So
I did my Army, yeah.
You weren't playing a ton of golf that year.
I was not. It was actually pretty bad timing for it, unfortunately, because I started getting salary for the first time.
Really?
Which was unheard of back then.
It was, yeah.
Especially for European and player at my level, even though I was good. But it would, like, I didn't even know anybody that got salary. I only knew that people got some profits of discs.
Right.
But yeah, I started getting little money, but didn't get to play.
Yeah.
So actually, I refused to get paid.
Interesting.
Because I didn't think I deserved it. But I said if I could keep my spot in the team and deserve the money later.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
That's an honorable move.
Yeah.
And maybe part of the reason that you felt pressure to get started so quickly again after your 6 months, you said you had a little trouble in 13 and 14 to get like the wheels moving again.
Yeah,
maybe?
I definitely had a moment in the spring of 2014. I remember I was throwing incredibly bad. Like, you know, when you try to hit the gap and you grip lock it like 45 degrees to the right.
Every disc golfer knows.
Yeah. I was doing that and I was like, dude, was it just here for me?
Yeah.
Like, it felt so bad. I couldn't believe it, but it was a little wake-up call, and I decided to, you know, relax and just try to enjoy the game rather than push through it and prove myself or prove anybody else anything. And I just started doing it for the fun, and that really worked for me. And I did that for years. I got to keep it in mind that just do it for fun, but at some points you forget about it and you start, you know,
taking it too seriously.
Yeah. It's happened to me many times.
It's easy to do.
I always go back to, you know, you got to enjoy.
Dude,
that's what it's all about, I think.
Agreed. Yeah. Having fun throwing lines that you intended to throw and watching the frisbee fly.
Yeah.
Okay. Was Prodigy your first sponsor?
No, it was not. I was sponsored by Discmania. I got sponsored by them in 2010.
Okay.
And
as a junior?
As a junior, yeah.
And did you know, because that was probably UC that...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also from Finland, so...
You guys have had a relationship for a long time then?
We didn't have it prior to that.
Right,
but,
okay.
Jussi helped me a lot, actually. He took me to USA a couple times, which was great. And it lasted until 2012, like autumn. when I had been on the team for 3 years. I had been 6th at Worlds and won the Finnish championships. And I did ask for a little bit of money, which I can say how much it was. It was actually $2,000 a year that I asked for, but we didn't agree on that. I did not get my 2,000, so I decided to leave because I thought that I'm not, like, $2,000 is not going to help me, or $1,000 is not going to help me. So I left Discmania, but only like 3 months after I got the email from Prodigy.
Okay.
I didn't even know about Prodigy before I left.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yep.
Okay. So then you start your journey with Prodigy, and are you getting discs shipped to you? Because now you're the only Prodigy player in Europe, right?
Yeah, with Ragna, who also
MPO player, excuse me.
And she moved to USA during that time, so I was the only one.
What's that feel like?
It was pretty amazing, actually, because when I saw the announcement of Prodigy, I remember it was New Year's Eve, and the next morning I woke up and I saw that, and I was like, dude, this is the coolest thing, because everybody had published, like, a little bit before that they're leaving their sponsors, and nobody knew what's happening.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and they had this badass video, announcing all the players.
Yeah.
And that same day I got the message from them, and I was like, oh my God.
That had to be so sick.
That was sick. And they also flew one of their employees, or actually one of their owners, to Finland to discuss the contract with me, which was also badass, I thought.
Yeah, getting treated like an athlete here.
Yeah. And my dad had this idea of if he helps me out, I can start doing work with Prodigy by distributing the products to Europe. And
your dad sounds like a businessman.
Yep, that's what he does. And that had also been my dream for a long time, to work within the sport.
Yeah.
So we saw the perfect opportunity, new company, nobody's bringing it to Europe yet.
Needed a partner overseas.
Yep. And that was part of the reason why they flew to Finland, so we could discuss about that. And I didn't really speak English back then, so my brother was helping out with all that.
Okay.
So we had a good talk, I remember, from what I understood.
Yeah.
Well, we got the deal and started distributing Prodigy like a year after that.
Okay.
And we got a full container of about 30,000 discs.
The most discs you ever seen?
Most discs I had ever seen.
Just grinning for 3 days.
We had our warehouse at my parents' house, so we were pretty tight there.
Yeah, boxes in the garage.
Yep. And baskets in this, like, cave, basically, that goes under the ground.
Okay.
We had to use all the space we had.
Yeah.
But we still do that. We distribute Prodigy, and the business obviously has grown a whole lot. Prodigy is doing very well in Europe.
Right, because the European market and the American market differ. There's companies that are big here that aren't big over there, and vice versa. And
yes.
Prodigy's got a pretty good grip on that.
Yeah, we are doing very good in Europe, Finland especially, because Finland is like 85% of the European market.
What's that like, too? Just take pause and just describe disc golf in Finland and how big it is. Like, people here don't understand.
Yeah, well, you've been lucky that you've seen it a little bit, but it has tripled or quadrupled after that.
Amazing.
It's insane.
And it was already on the local TV channels. You could watch your disc golf if you wanted to, right there. You didn't have to go to the YouTube. It was integrated into society. Yeah,
it's a huge sport in Finland. Actually, there was this study for high school students, and the study was about what's your favorite pastime, like
hobby.
Anything.
Yeah,
like it could be anything. Number 1 was disc golf.
Let's go.
And number 2 was working on your motorcycles.
Really?
But disc golf was number 1.
That is fantastic, and that's also scary for all you Americans out there who think you want to play pro golf. They can get plane tickets easy these days, and that's amazing, man.
Yeah, Soccer was like number 3, but disc golf has grown.
Number 1.
Yeah, and you can see it also on YouTube. Just we make a lot of Finnish YouTube videos these days, and they get like crazy numbers.
Well, you transferred over from making English videos too.
Yeah, the reason for that was that I had nobody to make English videos with. Like pretty much everybody in Finland speaks English, but nobody is pretty comfortable with it in front of camera.
Vino, I'm looking at you, bro. You can't hook a brother up. We want some English videos too.
Yeah. I'm really trying to get some English videos out, but I did some. I did for like probably half a year through COVID.
Yeah.
English content, but then it just got too difficult. Well, it didn't really get even too difficult, but I tried the Finnish content.
And it was received
it was just
well.
Working so good. Like I didn't have time to make more than one video a week.
Yeah.
And we get like, my English videos were doing pretty good back then, and they got like 10 to 30,000 views. And a lot of my Finnish videos have 100 to 200,000
Incredible.
views. And I make videos weekly, and they're just as popular as a lot of Americans doing videos.
Yeah. There's just such an audience for it.
Yep. And so many kids, that's the difference. Like so many of my viewers are younger than 15.
Yeah.
But in the US, I'm sure there are some, but it's not a really big percentage at all.
What about the FPO side of things in Finland? Is that?
I would say that has probably grown similarly to here.
Okay.
I don't know the exact numbers, but I would think it's similar. 5 to 10% of the players are female.
Basically the same ratios we have here.
Yeah, it has definitely grown, and at times you can go to the course and you can be really surprised about how many women are playing, which is great, but most of the times it's pretty much like 5 to 10%.
Yeah. Well, we're looking for all the help we can get, and we look forward to seeing more women in the game for sure. So as the as your career kind of progresses, your roles kind of change. You say you've been, creating content now through COVID, and you were creating content before that, but you're now almost. What are you on salary at Prodigy Europe?
Yeah. Well, I'm one of the owners of Prodigy Europe and Prodigy.
Yeah.
So I'm not an athlete anymore necessarily, or I don't get an athlete deal. So I actually work for Prodigy.
Yeah.
Doing media.
Yeah.
And
that's smart.
Yeah, a little bit of other things too, but I still play like half the time.
Yeah.
And focus on being better at disc golf, because I think that's a huge portion of why my videos are viewed, because I am good and I want to be good and I want to compete still.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone anywhere, but I just think, I enjoy making videos too, and that's the main reason why I do that.
And some of your first videos that I ever saw were with Kevin hanging out at like Goat Hill, which you took down that week as well.
Yeah.
It seemed like you guys were having fun.
Yeah.
Those days. What do you think about Kev?
Well, I would say Kevin is probably my best friend in the US.
Yeah.
Because I've spent a lot of time with him. So, and we're not actually similar at all. We're totally different. But
you are completely. But that's
completely different. Yeah. But it works out. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I like Kevin because we can have our arguments, but we can also kick it very well
and appreciate each other's ridiculous shots that you throw.
Yeah.
You guys have different styles in the way you do it, but both of your shots and just the way you throw it's just astonishing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
I can't wait for people to see you on film again this year. There's a bunch of people in America who learned and got to this game through COVID, and they haven't seen the great Seppo Paju, the legend, man.
Well, that's nice to hear. Thank you. But I'm really stoked for this and I'm really happy for the skins match that we're doing. That has probably already, I don't know if it's come out.
Yeah, I think I tagged you guys in it earlier, but we haven't told anybody officially. And by the time that this airs, the skins match will have happened. You're playing tomorrow with Jackie Chen, Calvin, and Yuli.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fantastic group.
And I'm stoked for that because it'll be like the first introduction back in the US.
Yeah.
And there's probably no better way
$10,000 A spot we got going on right now.
Yeah, I have pretty good history with those. So
Do you?
I gotta take it down.
All right. Well, I'd like to see it get to 20. I'm gonna play if it gets to 20.
I think 10 is a good number.
It's 5 digits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd pay for the trip. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Are you staying if you hit it? If you hit the A spot, are you staying, Seppo?
I'm gonna have to say no.
Okay. All right. You have responsibilities. You've also got a lady overseas this year. It's mature. You're responsible.
Yeah, I was just actually. It's a funny thing how a couple years ago, only thing I cared about was disc golf. But the other day I was cleaning my kitchen, and I was like, "This is the most satisfying thing I could think of when my kitchen is all cleaned."
Yeah.
And I was like, "There are many things that you can be happy for.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be only this one thing."
No, it doesn't. No, we become our parents a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. It kind of feels good though.
It does, man. It does. Yeah. What else have you been enjoying?
I did try out golf a little bit.
We were chipping in the backyard. Your stroke looked pretty good. You had the forward press, opening up the club face.
I haven't played enough where I would be really consistent, but I do have the ability of doing, good stuff.
How are you off the tee?
I'm not a really far hitter.
Okay.
I'm okay. I don't hit it like super far.
Yeah.
I would say my, chipping and putting is some of my best parts.
That's what you need.
Yeah, but my game is not that great, so my chipping isn't like great either.
We're going to take you out. We'll go with Kev. You can watch his long ball.
Yeah, and we also got a dog, so that has taken some time.
What kind?
Danish-Swedish yard dog.
A Danish-Swedish yard dog.
Yeah, it's similar to Jack Russell Terrier.
Okay, like what, 20, 30 pound?
Yeah.
15 kilo or something?
10 kilos.
10 kilos?
Yep.
Right about.
So about 20, 25 pounds.
A companion, does he go disc golfing with you?
She does, yes.
She does, excuse me, yeah.
Not every time, but when the course is pretty quiet, I can have her unleashed and she can run around.
And does she grab frisbees?
A little bit, but she doesn't bite them hard.
Yeah.
Not like the dog today at your putter.
RIP, lost a putter to like a 100-pound pit bull that I was not going to go near. Just practice putting at a basket. One of them rolls away. He thinks it's a game.
Yeah.
I lose one of the 3 putters I brought to Vegas.
Damn.
I flew here. Oh, well. You're putting P Model S's too, aren't you?
Yeah. P Model S's.
So good.
It's just I think it's the best modern putter. Yeah. It's literally a modern putter. I used to think that P2 was the best, and I still think it's a great putter. But I think P Model S is very similar to P2 in many ways. It's just a slightly more modern version.
Yeah.
A little bit more lower. I don't think we need to be so floaty these days.
So deep, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier to throw, cuts through the wind a little bit better, has plenty of stability, especially in Duraflex plastic, but also a very nice and glidey putter for putting in the baseline plastic.
Have you thrown it in the Pro Flex yet?
I have. It's probably the most overstable.
I can't wait to throw it in that. Man, it's gonna be
we're doing cool stuff with that plastic.
All right, more to come on that. We just happened to get onto that, but
yeah.
Where were we?
We were definitely traveling with the discussion, but I think you asked me what I'm enjoying other than disc golf.
I did, yeah.
And I got stuck at we have a dog.
Yeah, that's right. That's where we transferred over.
We have a dog.
The dog that bit my discs. Yes.
We bought a house in November.
Fantastic.
Yep.
What kind of?
We have so it's a house, not an apartment.
Okay.
So
2 saunas?
Just one.
Okay. There's more saunas in Finland than people. That's why I say that.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
We definitely have a big sauna. It's a decent size. I think we have 3-bedroom. So
how far is that from like where we'll play the European Open later this year?
2 hours.
Okay.
So I live in Turku, and the European Open is in Nokia.
Okay. And who are the local pros around your area?
Actually, Väinö moved to Turku.
Did he?
Yep, Lukas Rohtanen.
Right. Okay. And is that where Prodigy Europe is?
Yep, that's where we have our office and the warehouse.
Yeah. Okay.
So
get my geography down. I'm going over there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, definitely.
maybe make a trip up there if we're invited. I mean,
No, that would be great. I
that'd be
think
fantastic.
that should happen.
Yeah, we'll talk to Kev. We'll make it
Yeah.
happen. What is it, like 5 p.m.? He's probably up.
Yeah.
Jokes, people.
Jokes.
Jokes, people. Well, man, what are you looking forward to this year? You're going to be here for this event, and then you're going to play a few others as well, right?
I'm playing the World Championships, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully the USDTC. I'm pretty confident that I will get the spot.
You getting it?
I have always gotten it, so I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, that one. And then thinking about playing maybe something before the USDTC or the tournaments between Worlds and the USDTC. But we also have a new tour starting in Europe, the European Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Which Prodigy is involved with, and I gotta play there.
Yeah.
I have most of my touring in Europe, so.
Okay.
And we also have the Finnish Pro Tour, which is also run by Prodigy.
How many countries is that gonna?
The European Pro Tour.
Yeah.
So it has kind of like similarly to here where there's Silver Series.
Okay.
So we have two different like levels.
Right.
I would say it's like 10 to 15 countries.
Yeah. Spain, Sweden.
Spain has the All-Stars weekend actually at the end of the year.
Oh.
Yep. But
That's fantastic.
we don't have actual event there.
Is there affiliation with the Pro Tour in that tour?
Not for now.
Okay.
Yep.
Not for now. All right. It just seemed like there were some similarities between the way that things were happening.
Definitely. I mean, the Finnish Pro Tour is ran, similarly. It's a tour.
Right.
You know,
they're both copying the PGA Tour at this point.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like,
which is a great
it's
template.
nothing special. We're playing like 5 tournaments in the Finnish Pro Tour, and I think it's 6 in the European Pro Tour, and you count the points, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we have the All-Stars weekend, which isn't going to be a interesting thing.
Yeah, that should be.
Yeah. So I'll be mostly in Europe, but a few times in the US, and really hoping to be a little bit more honestly now that I got here.
Yeah, come on.
I didn't know I would like it this much, but I gotta admit that I do.
You missed the Kev.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite fast food that you miss?
Favorite fast food? That's a good one. Probably Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But if you consider,
good answer.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you consider Chipotle fast food?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
but you have to go in.
Food,
yeah.
But I think Chipotle is
Better
one of the
than-
greatest restaurants in the world. One of
Interesting.
the best concepts.
Yeah. I mean,
because you can actually eat healthy.
And if you screw it up, that's on you.
Yeah.
You had the options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have it simple, but they have enough options. You can make it healthy.
Yeah.
And it's still very good.
What is the biggest difference between Finland and the United States? I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but there's a little bit different feel.
You mean overall in like everything, or in disc golf?
Everything.
Everything. Biggest difference.
We're talking generalities now. Yeah, I want to hear.
All right.
I want to hear your opinion of because Finland has been rated the happiest country in the world multiple times in a row, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think of all those?
Well, I think the biggest difference is probably that a lot of Finland is liberal, and a lot of USA is not. A lot of it, at least. Some of it is, right? But Finnish people believe in, or, everybody hates taxes after a certain point.
Yeah.
But Finnish people are probably a little bit more okay with taxes.
Yeah.
Because it's been there for so long.
They've seen the way the system works.
That's how it works. You can't have everything. If you want to have free healthcare, you gotta pay taxes, and if you want to have free education, you gotta pay taxes for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily free since you are paying taxes,
right.
but
when you need a surgery, you're not back 15, 20 grand getting calls from the hospital all the time. Yeah,
it's free.
Insane.
Yeah, and that's how it works, and most people are okay with it, and I'm pretty sure most people are okay with taxes here too, to a certain point, but it just seems like more of a conversation here. People are discussing about it way more.
Yeah,
and some people are stoked about the idea of free education and free healthcare.
Yeah.
But then when they're told about taxes, they don't like it anymore.
Yeah. We've had this system in place for so long that, I mean, we're not going to get too political here, but it's hard to switch the boat around at this point. We're a diverse nation. You guys are, you're a community. The Finnish people are like a unit to a degree.
Yeah, we have our own language that nobody else speaks. It's one of actually the second most difficult language to learn.
Interesting. Yeah. Behind Icelandic?
Mandarin.
Yeah. Tonal.
Huh?
It's like a tonal language.
Yeah.
Right. You say one thing down here and up here.
Yeah.
It means different, right? Crazy. So Finnish.
Yeah.
And you guys were never taken over. You've told me a little bit about this, but.
I'm not like great with the history, but we've been part of Sweden.
Okay.
And part of us, or we have been taken over, part of Finland has been taken over by Russia.
Okay. But you guys had like the cannons like on that beachfront as we took the ferry over to Estonia for the Estonian Open.
You've seen it. Yep. It's Suomenlinna, a Finnish castle.
A Finnish castle.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's been some wars.
Yeah.
Which I don't know too much of, unfortunately. I wish I knew more.
It's all good.
But Finland got independent in 1917.
Okay.
Yep. So we had our 100-year birthday just in 2017.
Just shortly ago.
Yeah.
And how long till disc golf is the national sport?
It's going to be hard to take over the Finnish baseball.
Really? Oh, yeah. I've seen videos.
Yeah.
They have like ponds and stuff sometimes.
That's like the favorite sport of the students in the like sports class.
Yeah, the young people coming up.
Everybody likes to play baseball.
Explain to people what Finnish baseball is, because this is...
It's basically the same, but you don't throw the ball at the hitter. What do you call it? Like the pitch?
Right, yeah, the pitcher.
You don't pitch it by throwing it forward. You actually... There's this circle that you have to pitch it to, and you pitch it from right next to it up in the air. It has to go up to certain height. I think it's like 2 meters probably.
And can't go higher?
It can go higher, but it has to go at least that high.
Okay.
So sometimes they might go like super high, but they have to hit this plate.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tactique involved, obviously, as there is in American baseball too.
And there's bases they run?
There are bases, but they are positioned differently. It's not a diamond. It's if this is the plate and we have the field that way.
Yeah.
First base here, second base here, third base here, and then you run around the first base back to your home.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Yeah. And it's the most popular among the kids.
It's within like at school when they ask you like what do you kids want to do, like everybody always wants to play that. 3
outs, you switch sides?
Huh?
Is it 3 outs and then you switch sides?
It might be 3, or I think it's probably more.
Okay.
I can't remember though.
Okay.
Probably 3 though.
I've seen some videos of it. It looks very entertaining.
Yeah.
One guy jumped into a pond to get the baseball.
Yeah, so you have to, as long as the ball hits the ground within that area, it can roll out. There are no fences.
And go into a forest.
It can go anywhere. Usually it's pretty much open behind there, but it could go to anything.
Incredible, man. Incredible. Okay. I want some predictions from you now.
Okay.
Who is going to make the biggest splash from the Finns here in the United States? Not necessarily at this tournament, but throughout the 2022 season, other than yourself.
Okay.
Because we talked about it. You're about to splash hard.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cannonball.
I think there are many players. I think a lot of you guys probably know Väinö Mäkelä. He's Finnish champion and he's been dominating in Finland for a little bit, but he hasn't really shown like himself here in the US. So I think we're about to see that. Väinö is going to have some good tournaments for sure. But there are a couple players that I am really excited to see, and they are Niklas Anttila and Lauri Lehtinen. Niklas Anttila, I know, is going to play great.
He's just a consistent player.
He is. He might be the most consistent player in the world.
Wow.
I mean, I might be a little biased here with my Finnish homie, but
yeah, you've seen him play a lot more than us.
I have. he is a player where I can see that technique matters because he probably has the best technique of anybody.
Very good form.
Very good form. So good that you can just tell that he can't do anything but throw good.
Yeah.
It's so clean. Like there's nothing, stupid about it. It's just clean all the way.
Yeah. And his putt is really
his
nice.
putt is great. Spin putt, like super spinny.
Yeah.
But not like
Rhino.
Rhino puts it very hard.
Sorry to call you out, bro.
Niklas has it definitely a little bit loftier, and from shorter distance, he likes to actually like push putt it.
I've seen a lot of him. I haven't seen as much of Lowry.
Lauri is he's not as consistent, but he has some of the best ability out of all. He throws very, very far.
Yeah,
he putts very good, and he is starting to find the consistency. He did have little slumps last year, but ended up finishing the year very well. And I'm sure he's going to play well at some events. I'm not sure if he's going to be the one at like top 15 like all the time, but he is probably going to get close to top 5 at some event or events. But I think Niklas is going to be like consistently up there,
perpetually.
And Väinö for sure, he needs to prove himself.
Yeah,
I feel like because he just hasn't had enough time in the US.
Yeah,
he's always here for like
a few weeks.
I know it from the experience that you have to spend more time here.
Yeah,
if you only come to play a little bit,
there's too much pressure on each round.
Yeah, and you don't like get used to the time zone and just speaking the language.
Yeah.
And
we saw Kristen come over here last year and kind of do the same thing, little slow start. I think she said it herself. She had pressure, built up. She only had this short time to show people what she was doing. And she eventually, played incredibly and took down with the Preserve, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think she took down a couple tournaments.
Yeah.
That's what I have realized too. Whenever I come here for short periods of time, like I'm doing this time, I usually don't play great, but I'm not saying that you can't play great.
You're here to have fun.
I'm here to have fun myself, but I just feel, so different about being here these days because I know everybody.
Yeah.
I don't need to get used to anything really other than the time zone, but I also know how to get around that pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
But all the youngsters, they have all the pressure of, meeting these guys. Like they only have seen them on YouTube, playing with Paul Macbeth is a huge thing for them.
He's a giant.
Yeah.
He looks,
and there's like 50 of those guys now that they look up to.
Totally. Okay. All right. We talked about MPO. What about FPO? Because we got the two power horses, obviously.
That I'm so happy that Evelina and Henna are playing more here.
Same. I think disc golf is happy.
It's going to be great. I'm so happy about FPO overall, actually.
It is amazing.
I was watching the All-Stars, and they were killing it.
Yeah.
What I was the most happy about seeing was the putting in FPO had improved so much. They were making a lot of putts, which was great to see.
Yeah.
And overall, just the scene seemed like so much grown.
Yeah. When you've got Paige and Katrina playing at a ridiculous level, then you've got
a lot of new names, not necessarily new names, but
my girl Maria, she wasn't around when you were here last probably, but she's about to show people what she's about.
Yeah, there was I feel like there was several, 5 or 6 names that I wasn't really familiar with, but they were killing it. Yeah.
Now they're getting paid the same amount of money as the men. Now there's some extra incentive to jump in there.
Yeah, I think Henna and Evelina are with Kristen, she's
who's got the higher ceiling? Can you even tell me? I know they're both your Finnish people, your friends, but who's got the higher ceiling? Who could be the best player in the world? Can you even say that?
No, I can't, honestly.
Okay,
I literally cannot.
Yeah.
Because I can't say which one is better or who has better potential.
They're truly amazing, and they're different.
They are different.
Henna's backhand dominant.
Yeah, I think Henna's backhand is so good.
It's fantastic.
Incredible.
We almost took down mixed world doubles.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If Zach and Madison hadn't come back from third card, Henna and I would be champions right now. My gosh,
that's cool.
But that backhand, absolutely incredible. Throws it as hard as Paige does, in my opinion.
Yep, and very clean.
Yep.
I think they're so even. Like I can't say like I've seen them battle it since like 2015.
Right.
Henna even earlier. Henna's been in the game for a long time.
Really?
So I think they're very equal. And if you looked at their stats over the last 8 years, you would see them go side by side all that time.
Right.
Like
just switching off.
Exactly. And not by more than 10 points. Like they've always been within 10 rating points from each other. I would say so. I don't know it for a fact, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, it's amazing. There'll be a documentary at some point about those two.
Yeah.
And what they've done, the legacy that they're going to lead. And thank goodness they're coming back here, man.
Yes, I think it's going to be somewhat eye-opening.
Yeah.
For the American scene. I think...
I hope it is.
Yeah, because Kristen was...
We haven't even talked about her. I was going to get to Kristen. Yeah.
I think she played like 4 tournaments and she won 2, got second at 1, and was like 5th at the first one where she had the pressure.
Yeah.
And she basically never beats either of those girls from Finland in Europe.
Really?
She never beats them. There's actually somebody looked it up. Out of like last 60 tournaments that they have played together, she has beat Evelina or Henna 10 times.
That's incredible. I really didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
In my mind, Kristen was right there on that same line with them.
I would say she's not far off at all.
Yeah.
I think she's right up there. But
and 2022 is going to prove it because they've never all been here together. Not never, but not in a long time. And
I think Kristen has a little advantage actually over them because
coming here last year
and being a little bit more comfortable with the language.
Yeah.
And she's a little bit older too, so she is even though she hasn't been in the sport as long as those two, but she still seems a little bit more experienced.
She's got her partner as well. Silver's with her.
Yep. And Evelina and Henna are a little bit on the shy side, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for them in certain situations when it comes down to like calls.
Yeah.
You know, calling an OB or anything like that, and
totally.
that's gonna affect your play. Mm-hmm. But after 1 or 2 events, I think they are gonna be,
settle down and play the golf.
Settle down, and
that we know they can play.
Not to say that they couldn't win this tournament. Evelina has won this tournament.
Yeah.
She's won the Memorial.
Yeah.
Those are the first 2 tournaments of the year.
Yeah.
And
that's right. She came over here and won Memorial, her first event of the year, I believe.
Something like that.
Yeah. She's won for the moment, Evelina. She doesn't seem to back down when the game is on the line, and it's her play.
She's a natural athlete.
She's a killer, man.
She does everything. She rides motorcycles, plays ice hockey, paddle, floorball. She does anything.
Yeah. All right. And the last thing that I'm going to ask you, who at the end of 2022 do you think is going to be the number 1 player in the world?
That's a big question.
It's a lot of players that come to mind.
Dude, that's seriously...
It's never been so hard.
It's so hard.
Never been this hard.
Not even thinking about it, my head is like bringing Paul Macbeth to my head.
Well, that's your past. That's your past experiences coming back. Yeah.
I know. I think Ricky.
Ricky last year was dominant. And I don't think he's going to work any less hard this year.
No, I think he's working harder. I actually know it.
Yeah.
He is. I think he's taking it to a different level compared to a lot of others.
The diet, the preparation, the practice, the belief.
Yeah, I think he's very hungry too.
Yeah. So Calvin's not in that conversation?
I think.
Nope.
No, it didn't. Yeah. It didn't ring bells for me.
All right. Ricky Wysocki, Paul Macbeth. Man.
Yep. Those two.
That's understandable.
Eagle too.
Oh.
Eagle's one of my favorites, honestly.
Eagle without a forehand, though.
Might be crazier.
Eagle throwing lefty.
And those crazy turnovers that he was throwing at All-Stars.
Yeah. It was looking good.
Dude, he had learned the backhand pretty well.
It'll be fun to see where that goes.
All
right. Well, hey, thank you for being here with us today, man.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure and honor. One of the great European players to ever play this game, Seppo Paju. Let the people know where they can find you.
Well, my Instagram is Seppo Paju, so SEPPOPAJU, and you can find me on YouTube if you like Finnish videos, but also Prodigy Disc if you like my English content. I am coming out with a short documentary videos from this trip and posting them on Prodigy Disc YouTube channel.
Okay. Well, awesome. I didn't even know about that.
Yep.
I'll be watching those.
That's why I'm here, pretty much.
All right. Right on. There you go. Watch those videos. Support Seppo Paju. Support Flight Factory Discs. We got to thank them again for sponsoring this program, helping us out, getting this content to you. Thank you for being here one more time, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Seppo Paju. We'll see you guys next time.